YouTube, welcome back to my channel, Taylor Talks Tales. Today I have a video. It is to basically say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I officially hit 100 subscribers on Christmas Day, which was an awesome Christmas present for me. Now I'm at 114, so I kind of wanted to mark this occasion and just say thank you. I, to be completely honest, was not expecting to have this many followers at this point. I only started my channel a couple of weeks ago, and you know, I'm a very new booktuber, and to have already 100 plus people following me and engaging with me has been amazing. And I've had some really positive experiences, a lot of responses and likes and comments and recommendations and just engagement in this channel, which has been so cool, and I thank you so much. It's really meant a lot to me, and I hope that the channel can continue to grow, and also I want to be able to support other booktubers as well, and other YouTubers, so thank you very much. So in honor of that, I'm going to be doing sort of there's this tag that I found, and it's sort of almost like just a get to know you tag. It had these really interesting questions, so I pulled from it 33 questions of just varying degrees of personal and not, but I thought they were really fun. I don't know who created this specific one. I lost the video. I took the questions, went back, and just could not find which one it was. So if this happens to be yours, or if you know whose video tag this may have been from, please let me know, and I will credit the person in the down box below. And then at the end of this video, I'm also going to be giving instructions on the giveaway, because I am doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a copy of Sleeping Beauties by Stephen King, brand new, never been used hardback edition. So stay tuned to the end. I'll give you instructions on how to enter that, and let's get started on some of the questions in the Get to Know You tag. All right. Question number 1. What does your name mean? So, I'm guessing this refers to my YouTube username. My first name is Taylor. My nickname is Tay, but my full name is Taylor. And I talk about tales because basically I'm discussing books and doing book reviews and movies and that, but they're all storytelling, incorporating that. I'm a big fan of wordplay, puns, and alliteration, so I was trying to make my channel punny, but ultimately it worked better with doing the alliteration, so there you go. It also gets to be a tongue twister. Alright, question number 2. Where are you from? I am from Washington State. I live in the greater Seattle area. Have lived here since I was 13 years old, and I'm 27. Yep, I'm 27. I'm older than I typically look, most people think I am. And I consider myself a Washingtonian at this point, even though I wasn't born here. I was born in California, and then I lived in Utah and Texas for a little bit, but I've lived here the longest, and I kind of came of age here in Washington State, so I consider myself to be a Washingtonian. 3. What was your favorite subject in high school? I really liked AP US History and Honors English. There was this block class that one of my favorite teachers, Mr. Rosenzweig, taught, and he also is a subscriber, so shout out to Mr. Rosenzweig, I love you, you were awesome. I also really liked my material science class. I actually made this ring that I wear every day in that class, and it was very hands-on and very fun to work with things. And I wear this ring partly in honor of a friend in that material science class who committed suicide when I was in college, so that's kind of why I wear this. And I also liked biology a lot, and I liked chemistry. I liked most subjects. I just did not like math or anything math related, and I didn't like physics, but for the most part, but literature and history and that I think would be my favorites. 4. What is your biggest accomplishment? I have run multiple half marathons. When I was in high school, I hated to run, but in college I just kind of committed and ultimately became this long distance runner. I'm currently training for another half marathon, and I am planning on running a full marathon in fall of 2020. In terms of other accomplishments, I've gotten a couple of things. I've won a couple of writing awards under a pen name of mine. I'm also a certified wilderness first responder, so whenever I go out into the woods and people need help and medical help, I can help. And I'm also there's a civilian emergency response team, also known as CERT. I went through training through that, and I think I really am proud of I did a lot of hands-on learning when I became a veterinary surgery assistant. I basically started out as being like very low-level vet assistant, and then did a lot of work to become a veterinary surgery assistant. I'm no longer in the vet field, but when I was, I felt very proud and accomplished to be this veterinary surgery assistant and be the main one of this clinic, so I was also proud of that. 5, what is your favorite candle scent? Ooh. So I really like balsam and cedar from Yankee Candles, and just like pine and woodsy scents. I just love the smell of forest and Christmas trees. I also really like the smell of tea tree oil. So tea tree oil candles, or candles that have that as well, or like lavender chamomile candles are good too. 6, can you cook? Not really, but I can bake. I mean, I can cook sometimes, I just don't like to, but I'm good at baking. I can make pies really, I make very good pies if I do say so myself. But don't ask me to ever decorate a cake or a cupcake or anything like that. I'm a Pinterest fail when it comes to decorating anything like that, so just can't decorate cakes. 7, what is good about your life right now? Well, I'm actually healthier than I have been in a long time, physically, mentally, emotionally. I sort of went through a rough patch, last, mid-November, but since then I've really gotten my life back on track. I've been doing a YouTube channel, which has been great. I've been writing my book, and that's going super well. I've been making new friends. I've been reconnecting with some of my friends whose friendships kind of I let slide. Improving my relationships with my family members, and I'm most likely going to be getting a really cool job beginning of January, because right now I'm in between jobs. So things are looking really positive for me. Normally I get kind of nervous about going into a new year, but 2020 looks like it's going to be very good, so I feel like things are going well. 8, what is your sign? My sun sign is Cancer, my moon sign is Taurus, and my Venus sign is Leo. Those are the only 3 signs I know of, and they all kind of seem to fit. I'm not a big believer in astrology, but I think it's a ton of fun, and I definitely think there are definitely elements of my star sign that can apply to me. 9, what scares you about aging? Getting closer to death, honestly. Also, just missing opportunities. I feel like as you get older, your opportunities to do things does become harder and dwindles. I know that I'm at an age where there's still a bright future ahead of me, but I do know there are already some things that I'm no longer able to do because of my age, and so just that idea, and that idea too of getting older that you have to become boring or whatever, I don't like that idea, and I don't think it's true. I think there are a lot of people who are very happy in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, so just because you're not in your 20s anymore, I think it'll be okay. And I still have a couple more years in my 20s, which is nice. 10, what is your favorite holiday? Halloween, followed by Christmas, but definitely Halloween. It's my thing. I get super into it and decorating, and I have a ton of Halloween, those ugly Halloween sweaters. I have 10 of them. I'm super into it. 11, what is your guilty pleasure? ASMR videos. I could watch those all day, every day. They relax me. I definitely get those tingles. I even am into, I'm a little bit of a fangirl for a couple ASMR artists who are really creative and really awesome and do some really interesting storytelling. But literally nobody else I know watches these videos, so it's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine because I'm a little embarrassed sometimes to admit that I'm super into it. 12, what is your favorite show to binge watch? I'm not really much of a TV show person, to be completely honest. I prefer books or movies, even games or podcasts. Just for whatever reason, TV shows, and I have commitment issues with TV shows. If they're there's a lot going on, I'd rather just watch a longer movie. But I do watch some. And of my favorites, I would definitely say Stranger Things, Hannibal, or Avatar: The Last Airbender would be the 3 that I would binge watch, because they're pretty much my 3 favorite shows. I do like Over the Garden Wall, but I don't consider that a show. I consider that more of a a mini series, because pretty much it's the length of a movie. And then the first couple seasons of Supernatural, I really binge those, but I don't really like anything after season 7 or 8. I thought that the show kind of got a little weird. Not for me, but the earlier seasons I definitely will binge. 13, what is one thing you can't leave the house without? I'm gonna be boring and say my cell phone. I need it for navigation, contacting people, you name it. 14, are you a morning person or a night owl? Night owl within reason. I don't like to sleep in past like 9 because I like to be able to enjoy my day, even on the weekends. So I usually try to be in bed by like 1 or 2. And when I'm working, I typically, most of the jobs I've had, I will usually get to work by like 7:30 or 8. So I'll be up by 6:45 or 7. So I backtrack a little bit. But when I can, I definitely like to stay up late. 15, what is your favorite genre of movie? Horror. Hands down horror. It is my favorite genre. Love it. I'm very passionate about it. I go to Crypticon, which is this horror movie convention in Seattle, every year. I do also enjoy psychological thrillers, sci-fi, and like young adult coming of age stories like Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love that movie so much, and movies like it. And then like 80s movies. I love cheesy 80s movies. They make me happy. All right, 16, what is the last thing you bought? Christmas presents for people, and then I also use some of my gift card money from Christmas to buy some books, which I'll be showing in a haul after this video. All right, question 17, what is your favorite book? I'm going to do a cop-out answer and say I'm going to be making a video that addresses my favorite books. And I have to do plural because as a voracious reader, I can't just pick one. I can pick like a top 15 or 20, but yeah. And I can pick like a favorite book of each genre, but I can't just, I don't know exactly if I have an all-time favorite book. I have a couple contenders, but that'll be a different video. All right, 18, what has required the most courage of you in your life so far? Honestly, just social anxiety situations where like my social anxiety is creeping up and I really just have to overcome that because I do have social anxiety. It's a lot better than it has been in years past. But there are a lot of things that don't scare me that would scare other people. Like I'll ride the scariest roller coaster. I'll go, in the middle of the forest by myself and go exploring. I'll watch all the horror movies. I'll do all these things because they don't frighten me. But some social situations really just make me feel like I'm going to throw up because I'm just terrified, and just powering through them takes a lot of courage. And then I do it, and then I feel a lot better post the event. So that's, I would say, just dealing with that. What is your favorite drink? Number 19, Ancient Trees Pu'er tea. I'm a big tea drinker. That's my favorite tea. It tastes like drinking like a forest. It's delicious and very earthy. I really enjoy it. I also like diet Snapples as well. I can drink the peach iced tea Snapple all day. And I don't drink any alcoholic beverages. I'm done with that. All right, 20, what is your favorite food? So I really like comfort food, stuff like macaroni and cheese, pizza. I really enjoy Indian food, like chicken tikka masala. I love it, but it has to be low spice. I just cannot handle spice very well. Grilled cheese, chicken pot pies. I also really enjoy dim sum a lot. I can eat dumplings and buns all day. It's so delicious. So I just like warm comfort foods. 21. What is your favorite music genres? I like hard rock, metal, and new age. Those are my 3 favorites. Example of new age would be like Enya, Lorena McKennitt, I think Blackmore's Night, those kinds of bands. And then like with metal, of course, Metallica, Black Sabbath, Opeth, like progressive rock is also on there as well, like Tool and A Perfect Circle. I really like A Perfect Circle, and I love Evanescence, Within Temptation, those types of music. I could go on and on about music, but those are just some that I can name off the top of my head. But I'm pretty flexible. If people are playing stuff and I'm not really into it, I can usually tune it out pretty well. What is your favorite time of day? I like a couple hours before dinner and a couple of hours after, and like dusk. I really enjoy dusk, especially like, in fall where there's just this crispness and just watching the sun go down. It's really nice. Or in the summer when it's light out until 10 p.m. here, and then it's going, the sun's going down, and just like that twilight time. 23, are you high maintenance? I would say no. I'm very laid back, and I don't have a lot of needs from other people, I would say, except for there is one aspect of a personal struggle of mine that could be considered to be a little high maintenance if it's not in check. But for the most part, if that is in check, then everything else is good to go. Like, I think the biggest high maintenance thing about me would be that I'm a picky eater, and I can't eat anything with soy or chickpeas in it. But for the most part, like, I can work around it, and I think most people can work around that. But in terms of actual, like, high maintenance, I'm pretty low maintenance. You know, I try to take care of myself, and, you know, I'm not very picky with a lot of things. It's mainly just food and temperature, but I can always put more sweaters on, so I would definitely say I'm pretty low maintenance. 24, how many countries have you been to? 1. Sadly, I've not really done a lot of traveling outside of the United States. In fact, I haven't done any traveling outside of the United States, but I've done a lot of traveling in the United States and gone to a lot of different states and cool, like, amusement parks, and visited a lot of people, so it's very cool. At some point, I'm just gonna get in my car and just drive up to Canada because I have a passport, and I'm only a couple hours away from Canada, so I should just go sometime. So I'm planning on doing that. 25, what was the first amusement park you've been to? Disneyland. I went to Disneyland as a very little girl. I used to live in the LA area, so my parents used to take me, and I really enjoyed Disneyland. Funny enough, because even though I'm an introvert and sometimes I get what I call people claustrophobia, I've always really enjoyed amusement parks over, like, I don't like going to malls and stuff, but amusement parks, I really enjoy them. Let's see. 26, what's the scariest movie you've watched? To be completely honest, as an adult, I haven't really been scared much. A lot of the scary movies I encountered that, like, really terrified me were when I was very young and first getting exposed to the genre. And I would say The Mummy really terrified me when I first saw it. It freaked me out. Like, the guys in particular who got, like, their life force sucked out. For whatever reason, that really freaked me out. And then Poltergeist 2, and then, Poltergeist as well. So the first Poltergeist I saw as a very young child. And also the scene in Ghostbusters where, actually just Ghostbusters in general when you're a young child is pretty freaky too. There's just, like, the scene where the dog demon creature things, like, come out of the couch and wrap up Sigourney Weaver and go in. That scene really freaked me out as a kid. But as an adult, not too many. Even though I love the horror genre, just nothing really scares me. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest and 1 being the lowest, rate your fashion sense. I'd say probably a 7 or 8. I tend to go into, like, thrifted clothes and vintage clothes, so people who appreciate that, and, like, nerdy garments and fandom wear and whatnot. So for people who appreciate that kind of fashion sense, I think they would really like that. I don't follow fast fashion or stay in touch with trends very often because I feel like it's not very eco-friendly or financially responsible to really just buy clothes that you only wear for a couple months and then throw them out. So I buy clothes that last. And it kind of varies. I enjoy dressing up a lot and having the opportunity to, but I also typically tend to wear, like, you know, flannel shirts, wool shirts with jeans and, you know, and, like, a horror t-shirt underneath, or, you know, I like to be comfortable, especially when it's fall and winter here in Washington and it's, like, very cold and rainy. I'm all about sweaters and being comfortable. 28. Do you see the glass as half empty or half full? It really varies. I would say I'm trying to see it half full more often. I definitely can tend to be a bit of a pessimist and see it half empty, but I'm working on seeing it half full. 29. Would you rather have a friend who's very blunt with their words and brutally honest, or a friend who tells a lot of white lies? So, both of these are not good, but in my experience, I'm very passionate about this because I just stopped being friends with somebody over this, is I'd rather have someone who tells the little white lies as opposed to being super blunt and brutally honest, because I kind of feel like people who are brutally honest, they use that excuse to just say whatever they want, and they can be very cruel. There's a saying that's, honesty without tact is cruelty, and I definitely believe in that, and I think there are just some situations where it's just better to say a little white lie, and there are just times too where it's like, if you don't have to say if you can't say anything constructive, don't say anything at all. Like this friendship with this one girl, and I just, you know, she just kept saying awful things to me over time, and I lost my trust in her, so ultimately we aren't friends anymore. So I definitely would say I would rather have a friend who says little white lies than who's brutally honest all the time and just can't stop. 30. Would you rather live in a rural area or the suburbs? Rural area. So my goal is to be like a cottage witch. Basically, I want to live in the middle of the forest with this cute little house with lots and lots of animals and bees. I've always wanted to be a beekeeper, and gardening, and just being fairly self-sufficient and have like a little homestead, and then be able to drink my tea and read my book out in the back with wind chimes and all that. So I definitely like the rural aesthetic more than the suburbs, because I feel like the suburbs, you know, you're far enough away from the city where you can't enjoy the city, but you don't have the space of rural areas. So definitely would like to live more in a rural area. 31. What is your favorite animal? I'm an animal lover in general, but I like dogs. In particular, I really like dachshunds and corgis. I have a dachshund, his name's Chocolate, he's very cute. And I just like long looking creatures, like I like weasels and ferrets. I really like snakes a lot. I'm planning on adopting a snake at some point soon. I'm just waiting to hear back from an owner who is trying to relinquish the snake. So like otters, and then I like marine animals as well, like orcas and dolphins and all that, because when I was younger I did want to be a marine biologist, and I have big interest in marine creatures. 32. What's your personality type? I'm an INFP, so that's basically introverted, intuitive, feeling, and perceiving person. That's also known as the mediator or the dreamer personality. Very fitting for me. On here I wrote it down, but it says INFP indicates a person who is energized by time alone, who focuses on ideas and concepts rather than facts and details, who makes decisions based on feelings and values, and who prefers to be spontaneous and flexible rather than planned and organized. Very much me. Although I do like a little bit of organization. 33. What are some of your dreams for the future? Well, I definitely want to continue to be healthy and happy, and continue on this really good positive streak I'm on right now, with mental health, and my personal struggle that I'm dealing with has been going really well, so just keeping that up. Getting a dream job. Ultimately, I would love to get my book published, and if I can't be a full-time writer, I would still love to be at least a part-time writer, incorporate writing into my career, because being a novelist is my dream job. It has always been what I've wanted to do. And then continue reading and reviewing and having this YouTube channel expand. I would love that, and get to meet new people, find what you call your tribe kind of deal. I definitely, want my own place, and to be just very content with my life. I don't have to have tons and tons of things, but I would like to have my own little place, just like my cottage witch house, and I would like somebody to spend my life with. If you've seen some of my other videos, I went through a very heartbreaking breakup, and I'm mending from that, but ultimately I want someone who loves me as much as I love them. It sounds cheesy, but that's also a dream of mine, is to find that person. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and I guess also too, I'd like to get a sailboat and do a bunch of sailing. That would also be a dream of mine. Anyway, so that's the questions, so feel free to answer some of them or make your own video responding to this. I'm going to get into the giveaway now. So the giveaway is you have the opportunity to win this bad boy right here. This is Stephen King's Sleeping Beauty, and also by Owen King as well. Nice cover, slightly matches my shirt. This is in excellent, impeccable condition, and to enter the contest, you need to be a subscriber, like this video, and comment below, and pick like 5 or 6 of the questions, or you can pick as many. If you want to answer all 33, go for it, but if you want to at least pick 5 or 6 of the questions so I get to know you a little bit better, put them down below. Also, what book you're currently reading, and I will put your username in a jar, and then I will, in 2 weeks, I'm going to give it 2 weeks from today is when the giveaway is going to close, and then I will draw from the jar, and then I will let whoever wins knows. I might do it on camera, and then you just have to be willing to let me have your address, so that way I can mail it to you. And if you are under 18, please have your parents get into contact with me, just because I don't want anything to be weird, but I'll still send it to you. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much again for subscribing and being a part of my channel. It's been really, really wonderful and an amazing experience, and I just appreciate the love and support, and I can't wait to continue meeting new people and establishing relationships with people and getting to know my my subscribers who I already have. I want to get to know you guys on a better, closer basis, and again, always feel free to reach out to me. I have my email address on my main page, but it's just finalgirltaylor@gmail.com. If you ever have requests, or you just want someone to talk to, just let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night, and we're getting close to the end of the year. I've got a couple more videos that I want to upload tomorrow, but again, thank you so much for making this channel awesome, and I'm just excited to see where we go with this channel and with your guys' channels. I definitely want to support more YouTubers as well, so thank you. You guys have a great night, happy reading, and I will talk to you later.